This is episode number 10 of the High School Football Roundup podcast for Friday, September 9th, 2016. I'm Walter Johnson, and in this edition of the High School Football Roundup podcast, in a previewing the action for the week of Friday, September 9th, 2016. Not much time to waste, so I'm going to get to it right now. And starting at Hugh Mills Stadium in Albany, and the Westover Patriots take on at 1-1 will face the Doherty Trojans in a battle of Albany area. The GHSA teams and the Patriots come in with 1 win and 1 loss, and having been shut out in their season opener almost 2 weeks ago on Saturday, August 26th. No, that's Saturday, August 27th, against the Monroe Tornadoes. And after being on the verge of getting canceled due to Hurricane Hermine, Westover did manage to play Albany High and defeat Albany High 26-9. The final score there for their first win so far, and they'll face the Doherty Trojans team that hasn't played in almost 3 weeks since losing a heartbreaker to Turner County in their opener at Hugh Mills Stadium on Thursday, August 18th, 34-32. And Doherty had a bye week on the week of August 26th, and we're supposed to travel down to Nashville, Georgia last week to face Berrien, but due to Hurricane Hermine dumping a lot of heavy rains on South Georgia, that game was canceled and will not be made up. And the interesting part about that game, and Westover has a chance to get above 500 for the first time this year with the win over Doherty. And as for the Trojans from East Albany, just across the Flint River, and they have a chance to get to 500 with their first win of the season. And Monroe, a third team from the Doherty County school system here in Albany, will travel down US Highway 19 to just outside of Thomasville, Georgia, to face the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets, who are 3-0 with wins over fellow Region 1 AAA foe Worth County, which is Monroe Worth County, will be in Region 1 AAA this season, and holding off Class AA Thomasville 16-14. And last week they held off another rival in Class 4A Cairo. Final score 23-17 in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and that brought them to their current 3-0 record. And Monroe, just like Doherty, and was supposed to play last week, playing host to Thomasville in a Thursday night game on September 1st. But again, thanks to Hurricane Hermine, that game was called off and will not be made up. And the Tornadoes will focus on trying to go to 2-0 on the season against a very, very good Thomas County Central team. And one team that is 2-0 so far from the Metro Albany area, Lee County Trojans. And they'll make the short trip up US Highway 19 to Americus, Georgia, to face the Americus Sumter Panthers, who split their first 2 games, losing to Crisp County 34-14, and then going on the road to Dewey County. That was played last Saturday, September 3rd. Again, due to the hurricane, and it seems like the bad weather that came through southwest Georgia and south central, even southeast Georgia, especially southeast Georgia, and disrupted the schedule for a lot of teams last week. In any case, and the Trojan and Lee County was supposed to play last week against Hardaway out of Columbus, but that game was called off as well, and won't be rescheduled at all this year. So a lot of teams from our area will be playing up to 9 regular season games, and in Monroe's case, only 8, unless they decide to make up the game against Thomasville on Friday, September 30th, which I said in previous podcasts will most likely not be made up, highly unlikely at this point, but things could change and remove. In any case, Lee County will try to go to 3-0 with a victory at America Sumter. And over in Sylvester, the Worth County Rams sitting at 1-2 after losing to Thomas County Central in their opener just several weeks ago, 48-7, and winning a nail biter over Turner County in combined fashion, 39-36. Last second field goal, and then losing in a heartbreaker to Veterans out of Middle Georgia, Houston County, 13-10 last week. And the Rams will try to get back to 500 against the Early County team. That's 0-1-1. And the Bobcats out of Blakely, Georgia, lost their season opener to Eufaula, Alabama, 27-13. And after a bye week, they battled their next door neighbors to the south in Seminole County and Class Single A to a 7-7 tie, 7-all tie last week. And the Bobcats will be looking for win number 1, while the Rams will be looking to get back to 500. And one more GISA game of interest from close to home has Miller County taking on Mitchell County in a key GHSA Region 1 Single A contest. And that should be a good one. Mitchell County already off to a 2-0 start. And let's see, last week, Mitchell County just absolutely stomped Stewart Quitman 46-0. And in their first game of the year, it was Mitchell County shutting out Albany High, UMill Stadium, 24-0. And in GISA games of interest locally, Deerfield Windsor snapped a 2-game losing streak after pulling away from Terrell Academy late to pick up a 42-28 win at Webb Stadium last week. And Deerfield will try to continue their winning ways this week as they hit the road to face Westfield out of Perry, Georgia. Also, Terrell Academy will be on the road against Southland. And Southland will try to bounce back after a heartbreaking loss to Heritage, 31-28, in their last game. And the Westwood Wildcats from Camilla will try to snap a 3-game losing streak after winning their opener. And the 1-3 Wildcats will travel to Sharpsburg, Georgia, just east of Noonan in Coweta County, and southwest of Atlanta, to take on Trinity Christian of Sharpsburg. And the irony there, and Trinity Christian of Sharpsburg fell to Deerfield Windsor in their first game of the year back on August 12th. And it's also hard to believe that the GISA is in its fifth week of regular season action already, while the GHSA is entering its 4th week. So the season's not even half over for the GISA teams. And And some other games of interest in the Southwest, South Central Georgia. Good place to start would be, with a rivalry in the Cairo Syrup Makers. And coming off that tough loss at home to Thomas County Central last week, we'll try to bounce back. And traveling west along US Highway 84 to Bainbridge, Georgia, to take on the Bainbridge Bearcats. And Bainbridge, in a Class 4A semifinalist last year, at 13-1, finishing 13-1 overall. Their only loss came into eventual state Class 4A champion Cartersville in North Georgia, and lost their opener a couple of weeks ago to Lee County, 29-12. Down in Bainbridge. And Bainbridge was supposed to cross the state line to Florida to face Lincoln of Tallahassee. But the hurricane, caused, like many games, caused the postponement of that contest. Actually caused the cancellation of that contest. And that game will not be played. And instead, the Bearcats will concentrate on trying to notch win number 1 on the 2016 season. And taking on the Syrup Makers, who split their first 2 contests, holding off Class AA Thomasville 23-12 before losing to Class 5A Thomas County Central 23-17. And that should be an interesting game. And some of the even bigger games as the time winds down on this edition. And the Colquitt County Packers, and as mentioned so many times, or 0-3 for the first time since 2010. A little over 6 years now. And 0-3, losing to Mill Creek out of Gwinnett County, to American Heritage from Florida. And last week they lost a heartbreaker to Tucker 21-20. And that game was moved to last Saturday, September 3rd. And again, the tropical weather, the Hurricane Hermine, caused Colquitt County to play a 3rd straight game on Saturdays in as many weeks. And another tough loss for Colquitt, losing 21-20, and doesn't get any easier as they head up to Metro Atlanta to face a Roswell team they defeated for the GHSA Class 6A state title in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta last December. And that was 2015 last year. And obviously this is a must-win game for Colquitt County. If for nothing else, to try to get some positive momentum going, even though they'll have to play some more games before they get into Region 1-7A action in October. And they're starting to run out of time here. And Fitzgerald and Macon County. In Macon County, the Class AA runners-up from a year ago, will travel to Montezuma, Georgia to face Macon County, one of the top teams in Class A public schools. And Macon County crushed Irwin County 57-15 on Labor Day, Monday, September 5th. That game was moved to Saturday because of the bad weather. And last but not least, 2 longtime South Georgia rivals along I-75 will square off in Tifton, Georgia, as the Tift County Blue Devils in Class 7A will face the Valdosta Wildcats in the battle of 3-0 teams. And the 6A Wildcats are also 3-0. And I'm out of time for this edition of the High School Football Roundup podcast. Remember to follow on Twitter at SWGA Network. I'm Walter Johnson. I'm out of here.